नमां विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताकस्वामिनिति नामिने नमाचार्यपादाय निताय कृपप्रदायिने गौरकथादामदाय नगरग्रामतारिणे नम ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Let's offer our respectful obeisances to Srimati Radharani, the mother of the universe, whose bodily complexion is like molten gold. She's the queen of Vrindavan Dham. She's the daughter of King Vrishabhanu, and she is Hari Priya. She's very, very dear to Lord Krishna. We're reading the verse of Shat Goswami Ashtakam. It's kind of difficult for me to keep it there because of this. It gets blocked. But I can do this. हे राधे व्रज देवी के चललिते हे नंद सुनो कुथा श्री गोवर्धन कल्प पाद पतले कालिंदिवाने कुथा गोशान्ताव इति सर्वतो व्रजपुरे केदैर्महाविवलो इति सर्वतो व्रजपुरे वन्दे रूप सनातनौ रघुयुगो श्रीजीव गोपालगो हे राधे व्रज देवी के चललिते हे नंद सुनो कुथा श्री गोवर्धन पाद पतले कालिंदिवाने कुथा गोशान्ताविति सर्वतो व्रजपुरे केदैर्महाविबलो वन्दे रूप सनातनौ रघुयुगो श्रीजीव गोपालगो. Anyone else? हे राधे व्रज देवी के चललिते हे नंद सुनो कुथा patale kalindivane kutha. Goshantaviti sarvato vrajapure Kedar Mahavivala. Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalago. Let's offer our respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis, Srila Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunath Dasa Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who were chanting very loudly everywhere in Vrindavana, shouting, Queen of Vrindavan, Radharani, O Lalita, O son of Nanda Maharaj, where are you all now? Are you just on the hill of Govardhan, or are you under the trees on the banks of the Yamuna? Where are you? These were their moods in executing Krishna consciousness. Just like the Goswamis are raising their voice in thunder, just also remember that their voices are as sweet as the flute as well. And they were roaming the forest lamenting. What's the lamentation? The absorption is looking for Srimati Radharani, looking for Sri Krishna. So that's the sweetest lamentation, is the sweetest sorrow. Because when we cry out the names of Radharani and Krishna with all our heart, then our hearts can never be empty. To long for Shri Shri Radha Madhava, to long for Shri Shri Radha Gopinath itself is the highest joy that we can experience in this human form of life. It's actually the most precious destiny that Srila Prabhupada has given us, to look forward to the mercy of Shri Shri Radha and Krishna. Today is the most auspicious appearance day of Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani ki! Radhastami Maha Mahotsava ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. To be a Gaudiya Vaishnava means our hearts belong to who? To Srimati Radharani. So because through her mercy alone, even it's possible to attain the mercy of Krishna. So our worship is not Krishna alone, never. We never see Krishna alone. But it's always Radha and Krishna together. So our identity is sealed. How fortunate. We are forever servants of Shri Shri Radharani. And to take shelter of Radharani, what does it mean for us today? So, my dear devotees, the call of this glorification of Radharani today is very simple. Let us try not to approach Krishna directly. Let's first seek the nourishment of Srimati Radharani. In this Kali Yuga, Manda Sumanda Matayo Manda Bhagyahi Upadrita, we are very much deep in sorrow, misery. We have dull minds. We have short lives, short memories. So in this age of struggle, Radha is our spiritual mother, feeding us the milk of Krishna Bhakti, Krishna Prema. Just like a child cannot reach the father without the mother's hand, we too cannot reach Krishna without Radharani's mercy. So she can wipe our tears of this material existence. She can give us the strength, that soft internal strength to face our inner weaknesses. So let's start by invoking the divine blessings of Srimati Radharani with the open heart. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite Gokula Taruni Mandala Maite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite Gokula Taruni Mandala Maite. All glories to you, Srimati Radharani, O beloved of Madhava. She's the crown of the Gokula's maidens. She's the jewel among the Vraja gopis. Victory to you, Srimati Radharani. Oh, Radhe, victory to you. All glories forever to Sri Sri Radha. So let us soften our hearts, bow our heads, and seek entrance into the eternal Vraja Leela, the sacred appearance of Srimati Radharani. It was the dawn of Ashtami, Radhastami, the Vishakha Nakshatra, and the air was thick with fragrance. The Yamuna was shivering like a river of sapphire, and the Kadamba trees were swaying in a secret rhythm. And the peacocks were all crying out as if they were announcing a hidden festival which is about to happen. And on this day, King Vrishabhanu, he approached the waters, and his heart was stirred by the vision beyond mortal comprehension. In the river waters of Yamuna, he found this big lotus, and more than the lotus, a golden lotus, the sun was shining. And there rested a divine child, a baby girl, her limbs softer than a newly blossomed lotus petals. Such a sight to behold. Her form was radiating such brilliance that even the river herself seemed to pause, because she was cradling this little child, a little treasure in her currents. Quickly the village gathered around. Men, women, children, elders, animals, everyone's eyes was fixed on this baby infant girl who seemed not of this world, certainly. And drums were resounding, conch shells were blowing, garlands and petals everywhere was offered, and people were dancing in delight as this miracle was unfolding. And then in this joyful situation, a hushed word spread around. Although the baby's beauty was unmatched, her eyes remained closed. Then comes the moment that everybody's waiting. Krishna jinka naam hai, Gokul jinka dham hai, ऐसे श्री भगवान को मेरा बारंबार प्रणाम है, बारंबार प्रणाम है. Baby Krishna was crawling at the cradle where Srimati Radharani was lying down. As he was brought near the cradle of this radiant child, immediately his finger touched Radharani, and Radharani opened her beautiful lotus eyes, just like fresh blue lotuses at sunrise. And then what did she see? राधा जिनकी छाया है, अद्भुत जिनकी माया है, ऐसे श्री घनश्याम को मेरा बारंबार प्रणाम है, बारंबार प्रणाम है. Radharani was not willing to see any other face of the villagers or anyone else, not the sky, not the earth. Her very sight was Sri Krishna. And that glance of hers was not ordinary glance. It was actually a revelation of the highest mercy that the planet has ever seen. That Srimati Radharani lives only for Krishna. She was showing that with that particular Leela. And Krishna becomes complete only with Srimati Radharani. And then there was a moment of exchange. The entire mystery of love was spoken without words. And her eyes, Srimati Radharani's eyes declared, my life belongs to you, Kanha, O Krishna. My heart belongs only to you. And Krishna was smiling. What was his thought? Without you, I'm unfinished. With you, I'm whole. That's Sri Sri Radha and Krishna. Vrindavana ramya sthana divya chintamani dama ratana mandira manohara. Vrindavana ramya sthana divya chintamani dhama ratana mandira manohara. we see in this beautiful book by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Shri Krishna Bhavanamrita Mahakavya. This is the emotions of Krishna. This is the heart of Krishna. I'm going to read something from chapter 4, Shri Radhika's bath, dressing and ornamentation. Because in this song, Vrindavana Ramya Sthana, the description of how the throne was decorated, how Srimati Radharani was decorated with Krishna. And here we read, after this, the maidservants came and seated Sri Radhika on her jeweled sofa before the house and brought golden jugs filled with water, which was cold in the summer and warm in the winter, to quickly wash her beautiful mouth. Sri Radhika looked very beautiful when she was thus surrounded by her maidservants. One maidservant poured water from her jug into hand palm. As Sri Radhika flushed her closed mouth, moving the water back and forth from her plate to her teeth, her cheeks were very slightly puffed up. She spat the water out in secret, making a lovely sound. So we see in this book all the leelas, the morning leela, the afternoon leela, and then Radharani puts on her white bathing dress, and she's looking around anxiously if anybody is watching her. So, and it goes on to describe the lightning surrounded by her beautiful orb of the moon. So Radharani is getting ready, and every basically Srimati Radharani changes her clothes several times in the day. So she's the youthful queen of Raja. We will pray today to have her mercy and to be able to enter into the pastimes of Srimati Radharani. O beloved of Shyama, please show us your kindness. For just as you opened your eyes only upon Sri Krishna, let us too open our hearts only for Sri Radha and Krishna. Srimati Radharani nourishes us because she's the mother of the soul. We all long for nourishment in different places. We're all looking for substitutes in this world. And not just of the body, we are also looking for nourishment of the soul. And this world gives us what? Pressure, competition, rejection. But sometimes Krishna, with all his majesty and all his opulent, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we may feel a little distant. But Srimati Radharani, she gives that internal nourishment of the heart. And she's compared to the moonlight, very soft, very cool, very gentle. And she also can heal our inner wounds. She can melt our anarthas and pride. And she can infuse our heart with sweetness so we can approach Krishna. So through her, Krishna becomes approachable because she can soften our hearts. So when we say Radhe, 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 even when we're crying out in weakness, Radhe, Radhe, please protect me. And even in that weak moment, Srimati Radharani is like a mother. She rushes to us when the child is crying. So when we're chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, we're invoking Srimati Radharani, Hare Krishna. So we're crying to Srimati Radharani, Hare Krishna. And if we are unable to cry, my Guru Maharaj Jayapataka Swami, which is today is also his sannyas appearance day, Radhastami. So he often says, we should cry to Krishna and Srimati Radharani. And if we cannot cry to Srimati Radharani and Krishna, we should cry that we're unable to cry. And if we're unable to cry that we're unable to cry, we should cry that we're unable to cry for Radha and Krishna. So, Karuna kurumai, karuna bharite, sanaka sanatana varnita charite, Radhe jaya jaya, madhava daite, gokula taruni mandala maite. So Srimati Radharani, oh Radhe, you're the ocean of compassion. His very glance pours nectar into our hearts. Please have mercy on us. As unworthy as I am, you are the treasury of boundless grace. Mercy overflowing, sweetness, just like the Yamuna's flow, and sweeter than that, softer than the petals of Vrindavana's lotuses. Even Sanaka, Sanatana, and the sages beyond time are left speechless. Their voices are breaking as they try to describe the spotless character of Srimati Radharani, the infinite kindness, her infathomable love. O Radhe, Queen of Mercy, let one drop from your boundless heart fall upon me. For with that single drop, the desert of my soul shall bloom again. There's a Vaishnavacharya, Guru Gopala Dasa, and he explains, going deeper into why Krishna, without Srimati Radharani, he could judge the living entity. Validayata kamma lakumi vasudevage. Validayata kamma lakumi vasudevage. Kamaladhangi komalangi sundarabjavadane nino ramana matsya katina kaya sutarasyano ramaniya swarupi nino amita ghora rupa navano ramaniya swarupi nino amita ghora rupa navano nami parishta dani nino Danava bedu bhavanike volideyata kamma radhe vasudevage. So this is a very esoteric way of comparing the body of the Ugra, Nrsingadev, and how Lakshmi Devi came, Radharani came as Lakshmi Devi, very soft, very tender. Krishna appears in so many avatars and so many incarnations, and even as Krishna, he killed so many demons. Whereas Srimati Radharani, she always played that gentle role. Krishna may demand purity, but Radharani, she always gives nourishment for all our impurities also. Says that Radharani, she always is generous. She's always giving out blessings. While as he appeared as Vamanadev and he went to beg 3 feet of land. So who should we worship? The one who gives dana, karuna krumai, the one who gives endlessly, compassionately, or the one who goes and asks for 3 feet of land. So the Vaishnava saint is getting into the esoteric moods of Srimati Radharani and Krishna and says that she never crushes the weeds in our heart. She's always watering the good seed so that we can develop Krishna Prema, so that we can increase the higher taste. And what was the other sentence? Ramana Matsya Katina Kaya Sutarasyanu. So he may appear as Nrsingadev and kill the demons. He may kill Mushtika and Shura, so many demons that Krishna killed. But she's Ramaniya Swarupi. And she's always very, every breath of hers is nourishing. Every glance of Srimati Radharani is nourishing. Jai Shri Shri Radha Gopinath ki, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Sudarshan Chakra ki, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki Jai. So today let's take this opportunity to reflect upon, again, this profound truth that Srimati Radharani's mercy is unmatched. And so this divine feminine power of Srimati Radharani can be described as the Vaishnava saint Srila Gopala Dasaru saying, Lalite charu shile nino kalaki kalaha priya navano kulada kuruhu illa innu neleyu kandilla halavu kala davanu avana ಬಂಧು ಬಳಗ ನಿಷ್ಕಿಂಚನರು ಜಲದಿಯಾಲ ದೆಲೆಯ ಮೇಲೆ ಮಲಗಿ ಬೆರಳ ಸವಿವವನಿಗೆ ಒಲಿದೆಯಾತ ಕಮ್ಮ ರಾಧೆ ವಾಸುದೇವಗೆ. So again, another level of esoteric thing. Krishna is crooked. He is unreliable because he promises, but then he may never keep it up. But Srimati Radharani is never like that. She's super chaste. Krishna may go one day to one gopi, another day to another gopi. He may be very, very chanchala. And not only that, it is said that Avanapurake hoda janaru vamme ganna hintirugaru. He's the most renounced. He's so detached. At the time of devastation of the world, he lies in the ocean, sucking his own feet, the thumb of the feet. And he's so alone. He leaves his family, leaves his friends. He even destroys his own dynasty the nature of Krishna is so renounced, so detached. So the Acharyas indicating Krishna without Radharani is not very merciful. He's too detached. The only person who can captivate Madhava, Gopinath, Jagannath, Janardana, Govinda's attention is Srimati Radharani. So the all-attractive controller, Madana Mohana, he's captured by Madana Mohana Mohini. So that's Srimati Radharani. So he may be the Lord of the universe, but alone he's very inspiring, he's very powerful, sometimes also a little bit distant. But it's only when Krishna is with Srimati Radharani that he becomes accessible, he becomes affectionate. And then that sweetness of the Leelas with Srimati Radharani is what is overflowing in our Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. And Srila Prabhupada has given us that dazzling rasa of Vrajadam by giving us sadhana bhakti, by giving us ISKCON. So directly we cannot serve Shri Radha and Krishna. We serve Radha and Krishna through Srila Prabhupada. Chakudan dilo de janme janme prabhu se. Where eternally, in our hearts eternally, Srila Prabhupada is our master. So we become very effulgent and beautiful and qualified to understand Raja's pastimes and feel the rays and warmth of Rajadam by serving Srila Prabhupada. So Krishna, just as Krishna becomes approachable only through Srimati Radharani's mercy, Srimati Radharani's mercy becomes accessible through the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. And may Srimati Radharani, the mother of the universe, nourish our souls, melt our anarthas, and guide us gently to the lotus feet of Krishna. And may Srila Prabhupada empower us and give us the strength to keep our ISKCON community together so we can serve each other. Jai Radhe Radhe. And may Srimati Radharani's mercy become the food and drink of our spiritual life. Today is the day to imbibe that vibration. This is why we say, without Radha, Krishna does not accept us, but with Radha, Krishna cannot reject us. There's one more person whose mercy we cannot approach Vrindavan Dham, we cannot approach the Leelas of Vrindavan Dham is Mahadev, Lord Shiva. So I'm going to quote from Sri Radha Kripa Kataksha Stavaraja. This is spoken by Lord Shiva to Parvati Devi. He's glorifying Srimati Radharani. Munindra Vrinda Vandite Triloka Shoka Harini Prasanna Vaktra Pankaje Nikunja Bhuvilasini Vrajendra Banu Nandini Vrajendra Sunu Sangate Kada Karishyasi Hamam Kripa Kataksha Bhajanam Radhe Shri Radhe Jai Jai Radhe Shri Radhe Shri Radhike Namostute Shri Radhike Namostute Shri Radhike Namostute Shri Radhike Namostute. O Srimati Radharani, worshipped by the wisest of sages, O you who lift the burdens of all three worlds, whose lotus face blossoms with unending joy, and whose laughter echoes in the secret bowers of love. O most enchanting daughter of Rishabhanu, O dearest companion of Prince of Raja, when will your sidelong glance fall upon me, a glance brimming with mercy, unearned, unending, and divine? Anangaranga Mangala Prasanga Bangura Bruvam Savibramam Sasabramam Drigantavana Patane Nirantaram Vashikrita Pratita Nanda Nandane Kadakarishyasi Hamam Kripa Kataksha Bhajanam Radhe Jai Radhe Radhe Shri Radhe. O you, Srimati Radharani, whose sidelong glances are sharper than arrows piercing the heart of Nanda Maharaj's son, driving him into sweet defeat, surrendering all his majesty at your lotus feet, those glances brimming with playful illusion bewilder even the Lord of love. While you're gently arching eyebrows, dancing in crooked delight, fan the flames of his reverent adoration. When, O divine, O Divine Mother, O Mistress of Mercy, when will those sidelong eyes fall upon me? When will I too be struck with that causeless glance and undone by your boundless grace? I'm going to read some pastime which reflects these verses that I just read. This book is just far out. Ananda Vrindavan Champu. So this is happening, with this whole Leela and the tension in Vrajadam between Chandravali and Srimati Radharani. So Kusuma Sava said, go and look for that one who steals the mind, Manohara Krishna. Padma said, at present your Bakula Mala is that Manohara, but that Bakula Mala should decorate the neck of Gauri, name for Durga or Chandravali. Shama Sundara said, hey, my friend Varsha, this Sakhi seems to be very clever. She wants to decorate the neck of Gauri with my Bakula Mala, but she's not allowing me to finish the garland. Kusuma Sava said, oh, bold one, your Bakula garland is meant for your dear friends. Who else could be qualified to receive it? Therefore, Sakhi, why not just pick up the Bakula flowers lying on the ground and take those with you? Padma replied, how can I even dare to do that? Why are you depriving me in this way? If the Prince of Vrindavan is inclined, he will personally give us some flowers. Krishna said to Kusuma Sava, what she said is perfectly correct. So you should give her some flowers in order to satisfy her Sakhi and to perform the worship of Gauri. Then Padma, feeling overwhelmed in joy, took some Bakula flowers and left. Bakula Mala continued to narrate Krishna's pastimes to Radhika. Hey Radhe, I overheard Kusuma Sava say, oh my friend Krishna, if among your young Sakhis like Padma and others, a Sakhi of Radha's party comes here, she should mitigate the pain in your heart. Then your Bakula Mala will have meaning. After hearing this, I moved closer to them on the pretext of collecting fallen flowers. Yet I acted in such a way that they could not tell I was listening to them. Seeing me, Kusuma Sava said, hey Sakhi, who are you? Immediately after saying this, the parrot perched on his hand and said, aho, look, here's Bakula Mala, the associate of Shama Sakhi, who's a friend of Radhika. She's picking up Bakula flowers to make a garland. Kusuma Sava said, what need is there for a garland when the shameless young girls of Gokula can create Bakula flowers and agitate everyone just by their sidelong glances? The parrot said, now that you have this garland of Bakula flowers, you should give it to Shama Sakhi's maidservant, who in turn will give it to my deserving mistress, Srimati Radhika. Kusuma Sava said, Shama Sundara, just see, my words are coming true. And the parrot replied, a Brahmana's words are infallible. You should give this Bakula garland to Bakula Sakhi, and she will give it to Radhika. Then Krishna, the destroyer of demons, smiled gently and spoke just according to the time and circumstance. The young girls of Vrindavan are naturally proud. Why should they come here on the orders of Batu, nickname for Kusuma Sava Madhumangal, who is simply a Brahmana, entertaining everyone with his jokes and silly behavior? Therefore, O best among the birds, in order to comfort your mistress, why don't you fly to her? Hearing your pure, soft and sweet request that Bakula Sakhi will accept your Bakula garland. Immediately, the best of the birds flew to me and said, Oh Bakula Mala, do you recognize me? Why are you picking Bakula flowers? Why not come to see the Prince of Vrindavan? I will give you the garland that Shamasundar has made himself, so you need not toil so hard picking flowers. I replied to that parrot, O best of the parrots, the scriptures are right when they say that one's good and bad qualities depend on the association. It appears that associating with a person who's wanton by nature, dresses in yellow garments, and is intoxicated from drinking Madira Rasa has bewildered your intelligence. Tell me, do you think that any chaste girl will accept a garland from someone who's not her husband? The parrot said, Hey, listen, he is the supreme person, not just an ordinary person. His lotus feet are very difficult to attain. The inner meaning of parrot statements, our acharyas explain, it says, why don't you try to meet Krishna? I replied, Arey, wait a minute. I can see he's just a man. Why are you calling him the supreme person? Do not try to attract me to Krishna by your word jugglery. Bakulamala continued speaking to Radhika. The parrot told me that if I understood his words, I should take the garland. Since the parrot defeated me, I could not take the dominant role. So I returned to Krishna, who wears Makara Kundala. Then the mild and sweet Brahmana named Kusumasava talked to his dear friend, the parrot. So basically this whole thing goes on, and there is the verse I want to sing. This is sung by the parrot. This is the song of the parrot. The parrot is the she parrot is describing Radharani. Kauravinda kanti nindi chitrapatta satika Krishna matta bringa keli phulla pushpa vatika Krishna nitya sangamartha padma bandhuradika Mahyamatma pada padma dasya dhaturadika Radhe Shri Radhe Jai Jai Radhe Shri Radhe Radhike Namostute, Shri Radhike Namostute. The Radhike Namostute is from the other Shri Radha Kripa Kataksha. But this one I just quoted now is from the parrot. It's from the Govinda Leelamrita by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. This is from the midday pastimes. This whole thing happening, and when the parrot is speaking, as chanted by, the parrot's name is Sari. The female parrot Sari. The translation of that verse is, her amazing and colorful silken garments made the splendor of red coral feel ashamed. She is a garden of blossoming flowers where the maddened bumblebee named Krishna performs amorous pastimes. She worships the sun god daily in order to attain the continued association of her beloved Krishna. May Shri Radhika bestow upon me the service of her own lotus feet. Would you like to hear one more story? This is during the Govardhan Leela, okay? So the whole Krishna is showing off, the Govardhan is up there, and something very, very special happens. So different gopis are, I'm going to just read couple of lines, different gopis saying. I won't read the whole thing just to kind of get into that mood. So imagine, Indra's pride is defeated. All the Brajbasis, all the rasas, Vatsalya rasa, all the gopis who love Krishna as a child, all the gopis who see Krishna as the lover, all the sakas and the boyfriends of Krishna, all the different rasas. Because during the different times of the day, Krishna is interacting with different devotees. So each person is experiencing Krishna's intimacy in that specific rasa. But during Govardhan Leela, all the rasas, all the devotees under the hill. So it's a very, very special time where each one is sharing what's happening. So we get to this place where, oh, how astounding! Before us we see the deliverer from the inundation, the clouds causing the inundation, difficult times due to the inundation, and the very ocean of inundation. Are we bewildered by some illusion? Or has someone cast a magic spell over us? Although we are in such dangerous condition, still we have not been defeated. So everybody's looking at what is a disastrous situation. But then one Brajvasi said, "Oh Radhika, your face is simply beautiful. Do not make your eyebrows dance while Krishna is holding up Govardhan, for that will severely agitate his mind. Then his arm will start shaking violently and cause the mountain to immediately fall off his hand. Please do not cause such perilous situation." Radhika joked with Shamala Saki, a witty, sweet speaker, expert in making people laugh. Glancing slyly from the corner of her eyes, Radharani said, "Hey, doe-eyed Shame, do not infuse your ecstasy in my heart. Calm down and control your mind." One gopi said, "Krishna, who turned the king of mountains into a play ball, must have tremendous patience. His clever behavior is beyond compare." See, they're being very sarcastic here, not in the moods. And another gopi saying, "Alas, alas, your words are drawing exactly the opposite conclusions of my intentions. Now listen to your praises. O enchanting one, I will accept that the holder of Giriraj has great patience if he can keep his patience after seeing the splendid beauty of your full breasts." And the third Sakhi is saying, "Oh Sakhi, stop joking. Krishna's greatness is his ability to satisfy everyone with his unique sweetness. He's especially pleasing when he teases ladies like us." One Sakhi said, "Just see how Krishna holds up the mountain with his left hand while softly playing the flute with his right hand. He casts loving sidelong glances on everyone and shakes his head pleasantly while listening to his friends." Then one dear Sakhi told Radhika, "Listen carefully to my words. While all the Vrajavasis relished the pastime of constantly looking at Krishna, he is observed in glancing at you alone. Just see how his body has erupted with ecstatic symptoms such as tears, trembling, thrill bumps. But the other Vrajavasis think these transformations are due to his lifting Giriraj." See the whole ecstasy. The gopis can see that Krishna is ecstatic because of the presence of Srimati Radharani. And one Sakhi said, "Yes, what you said is absolutely true. Please take this pearl necklace as a reward for your realization." So the gopis are really like, the rasa is enhanced there. They're feeling so ecstatic with realizations. "You are right, it's Srimati Radharani which is causing Krishna's trembling and his perspiration. Because for him, lifting Govardhan is nothing." So they're everybody, all the gopis are infinitely admiring Srimati Radharani's loveliness and beauty. And Krishna is enveloped in bliss, trembled and perspired profusely. Observing these ecstatic changes, one gopi pointed to the cowherd men and told her girlfriend, "Hey, look, the Gopas think that Giridhari is feeling tired. In the mood of compassion, they have raised their sticks above their head to help him hold up the hill." So this is the mood of the Vrajavasis, constantly absorbed about Krishna. So one more paragraph from this song, Shri Radha Kripa Kataksha. Maheshwari, Kriyeshwari, Swadanadesh, Maheshwari, Kriyeshwari, Swadeshwari, Sureshwari, Triveda Bharatishwari, Pramana Shasaneshwari, Rameshwari, Kshameshwari, Pramoda Kananeshwari, Vrajeshwari, Vradabhipe, Shiradike Namostute, Vrajeshwari, Vrajadipe, Shiradike Namostute, Radhe, Shri Radhe. Radhe, Shri Radhe, Shri Radhike Namostute, 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 Shri Radhike Namostute. So, O Goddess of every sacrifice, O Goddess of all pious deeds, O Goddess of what is pure and free, Hey Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe. O Goddess adorned by devas, O very bright, O keeper of the Vedas, O mercy's ocean, O Radhe, Jai Radhe, Shri Radhe. O fortune's source, forgiveness deep, O Queen of Raja, the hearts you keep. O mistress of the forest of sweet Vrajadham, Jai Radhe, Shri Radhe, Jai Radhe, Shri Radhe, Radhe, Shri Radhe, Radhe, Shri Radhe. So, those are some points. Any comments, questions? Anybody wants to share any particular song or particular pastime? Thank you. Such is the glories of Srimati Radharani. Anything else? Yes.
Thank you so much for a wonderful lecture. I like it very much how you always keep singing the verses and everything. And I just wanted to ask what's the name of the book that you would open first? One is another Vrindavan
Mm-hmm.
and the other one was
Krishna Bhavanamrita Mahakavya. Bhavana means the emotions. Amrita means the nectar. So this is the book that describes the nectarian emotions and feelings of Krishna. So it's actually a poetry book. It's far out. It's really nice.
and sometimes I feel like I'm not so much connected with Radharani, although she is actually the one who's giving us the mercy. She is the one who's giving us shelter and leading us to Krishna. Maybe you have some hints or tips where I can go more into this mood of serving Krishna.
So Radha Bhava Gaura. Gauranga Mahaprabhu is in the mood of Srimati Radharani. So again, we cannot approach Radharani directly, but we can approach Srimati Radharani through Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, teachings of Chaitanya. And I think the best way is come up with some affirmations that, like, do a research about the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and find what the Hare actually represents, because that's the depth. It's all about Radharani actually, is the energy of Krishna, and we are invoking in the Hare. Because Radharani is a very confidential personality. The most precious thing, if you have like a 1 kg diamond or gold, people hide it. You won't just carry it around like a purse, right? So Radharani is like that. Very, very, it's a hidden gem of Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. And what was the other question you asked? How can I connect? One is through the holy name and Chaitanya Charitamrita. If you read Chaitanya Charitamrita, you just go into ecstasy. And if you start reading the pastimes of Radha and Krishna, there's one book by Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj, The Pastimes of Srimati Radharani. It's super fantastic. I highly recommend you read that. So yes, holy name, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the mission of Lord Chaitanya. What was I thinking of the hidden? Oh yeah, and even in Srimad Bhagavatam, directly Radharani's name is not mentioned. It's just mentioned that there was the gopi, the bumblebee story, right? It doesn't say Radharani. You know why? Because Vyasadev would go into super ecstasy if he had to mention, first of all. So yeah, even Srila Prabhupada, he would not get into the pastimes of Radha Krishna, Braja, Leela, because naturally the mind is, the mind or the senses and the mind in this age of Kali, we compare normal romantic stories to Radha Krishna's Leelas. So we have to become qualified before we enter into the Vraja Leela pastimes and to understand. So I would say holy name, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, praying very sincerely to the acharyas. And the safest, the best way is to listen to devotees who are followers of Srila Prabhupada, who have very carefully advanced to the stage of describing these leelas and pastimes. Because if you go to Vrindavan Dham, there are a lot of preachers who always speak about Radharani and the mood and of the gopis. There are even some upper sampradayas, those people who dress like gopis, even men. They dress like gopis and they're like, in the emotion. They're called Saki Beki. It's a kind of a cult. So yeah, these are dangerous. So Srila Prabhupada was cautious. And probably that's the reason that you feel, I don't feel so connected. Because the fragrance of Srimati Radharani is hidden in the words of Srimad Bhagavatam. It's not directly demonstrated. So slowly. I'm doing my Bhakti Vedanta and we are in the 10th canto, like the whole pastime and the Leela. And then you start seeing, you see the Bhagavatam talking About Raja Leela. But again, we have to read the first 9 cantos, assimilate. And I would say the 9th canto Srimad Bhagavatam is the neck of the Lord. Because every first canto, second, the lotus feet of the Lord. So every canto is the arms of the Lord, is the seventh canto. So the neck is the eighth canto. Ninth canto. So the ninth canto, we can also say it's like the bottleneck. Because it's very difficult to digest ninth canto. There's so many crazy stories there, All kinds of weird things. You could just go like, what? Wait a minute, what Vasishta did? What Vishwamitra did here? How could they curse? What, that king, he ate the rabbit? What's going on here? What animal sacrifice are we talking about? This one stole somebody's wife. Oh, this one got stuck in midair, not in heaven, not on earth. What's going on? So it's actually very bewildering. So the point is, before we get to 10th canto, we have to go through 9th canto, assimilate the information. So no rush, no hurry, but today is the day to open those hearts and minds to the mercy of Srimati Radharani. May I be ready, may I be prepared to enter the Vraja Dham Mahatmya. And everywhere around we have Radha Krishna deities. So you can slowly do certain researches. For example, one of my favorite is knowing the history behind the deities. For example, I was in the US last year. I stayed for over 6 months like that. And I was visiting different places and such amazing history. Actually, one of the oldest ISKCON deities of Radha Krishna, specifically Skalachandji. It seems Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw that deity in Vrindavan. So the story of how through Srila Prabhupada, these two Prabhupada disciples were going to Vrindavan, trying to buy deities for different temples like Toronto, New York, Dallas. These devotees were sent. And then one of the Matajis goes and she sees this huge, big, black marble Krishna used as a door stopper. Can you imagine? It's very old looking. So she goes and says, I want this particular deity. And the shopkeeper says, this one is not for sale. This is a very old artifact. We kept it during the time when the Muslims invaded Vrindavan. This was one of the deities which was kept in the temple. And he was hidden in the the storage, the underground basement. He was hidden in the basement of a businessman. And then after many, many years, they took it out. So there's a whole leela how that deity was. And then this Mataji said, I'll pay anything. I really want this deity. Because she really was convinced. Then she called Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada wanted 3 deities. So finally they got this particular deity. And then they were making Radharani for these deities in white marble. So they made 3 sets of Radharani. Each Radharani was sent to different places. And they sent the wrong Radharani to Dallas, Kalachandji. And the Radharani which was supposed to go to another temple, because Radharani is supposed to be a little bit bigger, Kalachandji's Radharani, but this one is smaller. So they called Srila Prabhupada. They said, oh, this confusion has happened. We sent the Radharani which was supposed to be sent here to Dallas. And Srila Prabhupada said, Kalachandji kidnapped this Radharani. He wants her. So there are many stories and pastimes of the installing Radha Krishna deities. Also, one of the Radha Krishna was, Prabhupada was acting he was aligned. He was a worshipper of Rashi Shri Radha Govinda from his childhood. His first deities were Shri Shri Radha Govinda deities given by his father. So Srila Prabhupada, once there was this big deities where the finger of Radharani was broken. So Indians are a little bit sentimental. They're like, oh, if the thing is broken, you don't worship. And then the Prabhupada immediately said, give it to us. Give it to us. And they said, because talking about donation, he said, no donation, nothing, give it to us, we'll take. And Prabhupada told the disciples, do it quick, take it before he changes the mind. So like that, we have so many stories. Radha Madhava in Mayapur, the whole history, the dacoits attacked Mayapur Dham. This was a time when Lord Nrsimhadev was not yet in Mayapur. And they stole Radharani thinking it's gold. They stole the deity of Radharani. And they shot bullets to the devotees. Bhakti Raghav Maharaj, he lost his leg. Even now he only has one leg. So that time they shot Radharani's deity got shot. So there's so many leelas of what happened, how Radharani protected, how all this mystical stories. So I would say start from there. And then you can kind of get more into that missionary mood of how Prabhupada made it a point I forgot, there was a point I did research how many Radha Krishna deities we have around the world, and the pictures, and some of them are extremely beautiful. I mean, all of them are beautiful. Some of them have this specific, unique mood, and talk to the devotees, how the deities reciprocate. Here we have Shri Radha Gopinath, so gorgeous. Look at them. It's adorable, right? They remind me of Shri Radha Madhava in Mayapur. So, like that, does it help? Yeah. Okay, anything else? Okay. Shri Shri Radhastami Mahotsav ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Jai Radhe. And today's the day. In many places only once a year they show the lotus feet of Radharani. Otherwise it's always covered. Special mercy day. She's, the treasure house of love is open today, so you can go and grab as much mercy as you want.
Do you know something about Radharani in Durban?
In
Durban.
Yeah, Radha Radhanath.
Yes.
Yes, I've been there. Oh my God, they're also super, super gorgeous. Super. I can send you the story and the history. I have a friend who lives there, Pujari.